Hi guys, welcome back. I've got another video for you today. This one is going to be on a Sako S20. So what I'll do, first of all, just show you, obviously, action clear, magazine empty, cycle it a couple of times for you guys. And that's a smooth bolt. What's the trigger like? Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so we have a Sako S20 here today. And we've got a GPO Centuri on the top as well. Now, this has become my new hunting rifle, I guess new-ish. It's the one I took out last. It's the one I've taken my last deer with. So this has a 24-inch fluted barrel, and it's also threaded as well. So we have obviously threaded muzzle cap. Then we've got a fluted barrel, which I would say is, look, it's a decent weight barrel. It's not particularly heavy, but it's not super light profile either. So these are obviously made in Finland. So it's a Sako, however you want to say it. Now with this particular one, I've got some loophole rings on it. And I've also got the GPO Centuri. This particular gun I bought secondhand. I got it for a really good deal. I couldn't say no to it. I've got a friend who is a massive Finnish rifle fan. I've always liked Tikkas. I've played with a couple of Sakos before. I've never really owned one though. They've sort of been in the family. I tend to hunt with sort of weirder stuff or older stuff most of the time, but I figured I'd try this one out. So with this particular one, it's actually a modular rifle system. I guess what they're calling it. So as you can see here, this breaks into two separate distinct parts. So you have the buttstock here, which can be swapped out for more of a target rifle style rather than the pistol grip. And then you also can change the forends as well. So obviously you've got your sling swivels, you've got a detachable box magazine, which I believe holds 4 rounds in this one. You've got an adjustable cheek piece just here, so you can raise that. You can close it down, do whatever you want. And then the bolt on this thing, so I will say, the bolt on this thing is really lovely. We've got a safety, which actually locks the bolt down. The bolt release on this thing is on the other side. You also have a 3-position safety, which is a bit strange. So I'm sure you can see the bolt count here. There's actually a little like a little lever that if you push that down, it actually lets you work the bolt while the gun's still on safe. That's kind of hard to figure out if you don't read the manual. I noticed a lot of people were actually not realizing that and just thought they had a 2-position. The bolt on this thing is great. Bolt release is just the other side, standard bolt release button. So pop the action, bring the bolt out. Now it's a 3-lug bolt. Okay, and exactly what you'd expect from Sako. This thing is machined spectacularly, right? Fit and finish is really good. Try fire again. Is really good. Now it's got some inserts, I guess like a rubberized sort of texture here, and sort of like a faux leather pattern in the grip and here, which feels really nice in the hand. It feels really comfortable. Palm swell is good. Point's really nice. And then we've also got a Cerakoted barrel. I think this is titanium grey. I don't know. Everyone likes to give these trendy names now to these things. I've just got a stock standard sort of sling on this thing. It's just like a Hornady leather one that I picked up from somewhere. And then obviously they've got some spaces that you can put in the back as well. This particular gun is in 308. And honestly, this thing has been fantastic. I've put maybe 80 rounds through it so far. I've put some Remington core lock through it, which shot all right. I tried some S&B, which was not good. I've got some hand loads through it and then some Sako ammo as well. Now, I will say it was a little bit sensitive to ammo. I'm just going to pop this down for a second. So I've got some groups here. Now, the Sako 150 grain game head. So that's this group here. Amazing. Shot grant, fantastic. And just forgive some of these groups, I was actually still sighting in some of these. So we've also got 150 grain Remington core locked there. I would not use that hunting, if I'm being honest. I don't like Remington ammunition. I don't like their bullets. I think their QC is terrible for the most part. I would always go for something else, but I had a box of it left over from a friend who was signing something in. And then we've got some more. That's actually a 3-shot group. Sako 150 grain game head again. And this group here is actually some Barnes hand loads with 130 grain TTSX. And then obviously I was doing some 1-shot groups there as well. That was after I got it sighted in. So I did try some Hornby CX, 150 grain, did not like them. And I did try some S&B 150 grain as well, which it did not like. Well, I say didn't like. Look, it's perfectly serviceable for what it is, but it's not what I'm after, right? I'm looking for those cloverleaf groups if I can get them, and this gun is more than capable of delivering that. Now, with this gun, I am shooting predominantly my hand loads when I go hunting. And then I keep some Sako 150 grain game headers back up. They're actually shooting basically the same point of impact for me, out to about 100 meters. At that point, they deviate a little bit in drop, obviously. But I always just keep a little backup sample. So these are what I'm loading. So I've got some, some Browning brass that I got back in the day from some ammo. And I've got 130 grain Barnes TTSX in there. These are a great bullet. They shoot fantastic. I think you actually have a hard time getting them to shoot poorly. And then we also have some Sako 150 grain game head. Now, the Sako ammo is a guaranteed MOA accuracy in Sako and Tikka rifles, from what I'm aware. And shout out to, I guess, Dingo Gun Products for the nifty little cartridge wallet. I love having these sorts of things lying around in the bag. It's a really good way to carry around some ammunition. What I would say is I've got a bunch of Sako ammunition that I'm more than happy to shoot, and then I've also got my hand loads, which I shot a small buck with recently, straight through the shoulder. It was a really close shot. I was literally driving around in the car, and he sort of popped up out of nowhere. Didn't expect to see him. Quickly chambered around and bang, straight through the lung and heart. He didn't even move. It wasn't a long shot. It was probably only about 50 yards, but I know this gun is more than capable of shooting considerably further distances with this. I would have no problems shooting this gun out to 400. 400 probably would be the extent of what I would shoot with a 308, and that's because I know my dope. I know what my drop is. And I know where to shoot with this. And this has a decent bit of glass on it. This GPO Centauri, so it's a Centauri 6X. So this is a 3-18 by 44 illuminated. This is a great scope. I bought this from a shop in Sydney, and it's been fantastic. Like, the quality of the glass on this is well above what it should be for the money that I paid, right? Clicks are very tactile. Illumination is really good. I'm a big fan of this thing. I can't talk more highly about it for the money. So I think it was about $900 Australian. I'm sure that they've updated their line. They can probably be a bit more expensive now or a bit cheaper. But I've been super pleased with it. The one thing I will say is they're not the lightest scopes in the world. Um, but this gun is not the lightest gun in the world. It is a relatively heavy gun for a foot stalking rifle. Um, is it too heavy to do the job? No. You'll quite happily walk around with this. If you're walking around in real heavy country, would I pick this gun? Probably not. Where I hunt, it's not uncommon to have some open area or to go and have some relatively open pathways through it. And you're primarily shooting down lanes between trees, or you're shooting off roadways. So this thing's great for that. It's a little heavy if you're a small statured person or you don't like carrying a medium weight rifle, right? It's not this ultra light sort of thing that people sort of love nowadays, where it's going to be, 6 pounds all in or whatever. The Hauer super lights or super light, the carbon elevates or anything like that. This gun is not that. It's like the Lexus of guns, right? It is smooth, it is nice, it is reliable, it feels good, it points good. You can sit at the range all day and shoot this bad boy. And it is really accurate, really accurate with factory ammo. And factory ammo that's not expensive. Like the Sako ammo that we get here is, for what you're getting, I know it's just a cup and core bullet, unless you go to the more expensive stuff like the power blades. But for majority of what people are hunting in Australia, that's plenty. I think it's like $50 a box, which, 10 years ago, I would have laughed at you if you told me I was going to pay $50 a box for 308, but I mean, it's $50 a box. When you're hunting, are you going to be upset that you spent, $2.70 for whatever it is to take down a deer that's going to feed your family? No. It's a great trade-off. It is what it is. Now, the Sako, would I recommend it? Yeah, 100%. I would actually recommend this one over the Sako 90, I think we're up to now. The older Sakos, I think, are actually a better deal. The Sako S20 is sort of in a bit of a weird no man's land. It is not a true, I don't want to say it's not a true Sako, because it is, but we're at the point where it's like, it used to be that you had Tikka and you had Sako, right? Tikka's been introducing more and more models, especially, catered towards, more specialized roles, long-range target shooting, chassis, with Cerakote barrels, with all-weather sort of stuff. And now the top end of Tikka and the bottom end of Sako, which is this S20, are basically comparable. You can find these things now for, look, I'll be completely transparent. I bought this one for about secondhand, very lightly used, for about $1,800, which I know is a lot for a rifle for a lot of people, and not a lot for other people. Okay, everyone's a little bit different. I know some guys hunt with sort of $8,000-9,000 rifles. For a lot of us, the most expensive thing that we're going to be able to afford is a Hauer 1500. If you're in the market for a gun though, and you know what you're looking for secondhand, yeah, buy a Sako S20. They're great. Are they better than the top end of Tikka? The Tikkas, you have a lot more options to do custom stuff with. The Sako S20 doesn't have that availability unless even if you're buying through Sako, they don't have a lot of options for it. There's not a lot of aftermarket stuff that you can do with them other than buying the Sako product. So if you're comfortable with buying it as the rifle it is, and maybe buying the different stock set that comes with it or any of the attachments, then great, have at it. I would highly recommend. If you're looking for something that you can change over time, you can swap out stocks, you can, if you shoot out a barrel, you're going to go, swap a barrel out, you're going to change up, triggers on them, you're going to do all that kind of stuff. Maybe look at a Tikka. Tikkas are a great gun. I would say that the quality in the Sakos, I feel personally, in the new ones has dropped a little bit. I feel like some of the older Sakos are actually considerably nicer. But that's the times we're in. Sometimes the build quality of these things changes a little bit, and it's to some people's tastes and not others. And again, it could just be the examples that I've seen. I will say this S20 though, fantastic gun. If you're looking for something to go hunting all weather, this is a hell of a pick. If you're looking for something to go and walk around in the scrub in thick bush and get it beaten up, it will do that. It will take that abuse. I don't doubt that for a second. What I will say though is it's a bit long. It's 24-inch barrel on it, and it is a little on the heavier side. Again, that helps you in some ways. Recoil will be lower. Felt recoil will be lower, and you'll be a little steadier when you're shooting it. But it depends on your hunting grounds, your hunting distances, or if you're hunting at all. If you're shooting from the range, I mean, that's what you want. If anything, you might even want to go a little bit heavier, and you can put some weight in that stock, I'm sure, as well. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. I will leave it there, and if there's anything else you want to see, you can let me know. I'll probably do one or two more of these while I'm off, and then I might break out some military stuff next and see how we go. All right, have a good one.